Siesta Key, blind spot.
Wow.
There's always an idiot that does that. All this empty road, and they want to go right behind the blind spot. Alright guys, so we are now on Siesta Key. Now, if you guys remember, here on Siesta Key, they had a storm surge 13 days ago. And now today, they're dealing with the wind storm. So, 2 storms back to back in a little bit over a 2-week period. So, this is where the hurricane made landfall. Here's an area that was already destroyed 13 days ago by storm surge flooding. And here we are now, roughly 2 weeks later, and we have another disaster hit this area. 2 times with absolute destruction. There's no way to put words to the scenario that is present here on this island. This is, we're gonna have to turn that off, at least on this end.
Yeah.
The amount of destruction that we're looking at here is, you're gonna have to turn it off. The levels of destruction here on Siesta Key are just unbelievable. I mean, 2 hurricanes back to back. The first one causing all the flooding, all the storm surge destruction. People get all this garbage outside, and then they get hit with another hurricane that's a wind hurricane. I mean, this is just difficult to watch, and my heart goes out to all the people that live here and also the people that are fond of this place. It isn't just the people that live here, it's the people that ourselves, like, this is for us a special place, you know. This is a special place for us too. This is where we spend our vacations and our days off. If you live in the Sarasota area, I mean, this is hard to watch and difficult. I mean, I don't even know what to say. So we're looking at 2 different storm surges. I think the second one wasn't as high as the first one. I'm not even sure anymore. This is just so hard to watch. Difficult that people have to. Just a beautiful place, but so much destruction. I don't even know how we got on this island, to be honest with you. It's hard to even put words to this. Yeah, they had another storm surge. You can tell that the stuff floated around. You can see stuff that floated around. So yeah, they had a second storm surge. And I think this storm, the most recent one, was more of a let's say a windstorm. Now, keep in mind too that I guess the equipment for the cleanup was already here. Give you guys an idea what the side view looks like here on Siesta Key. Are you guys seeing this? Imagine all this garbage was already outside from the storm surge previous. And then here comes another hurricane, and it does it again. And then this second hurricane brought with it winds. The first hurricane didn't have any. There was no wind destruction on this island during the first hurricane. I guess this is the most chaotic scene I've ever seen, because look at that. Like, you can see that tree, big giant banyan tree fell over there. And look down these streets. I mean, all this debris was already outside from the other hurricane. I'm going to guess that because the equipment from the last hurricane was already in the area, they were able to get the roads clean really quickly, because what was the hurricane, 2 days ago or something?
Yeah.
Wow. This is I've seen a lot of hurricane destruction. I've seen Hurricane Ian. This is definitely more impactful in a different way. So now the area of destruction is so massive. There's a lot of police and just a lot going on here during the first round. But now that, there's so much more destruction in Florida, they've had to thin out the work crews and stuff, and getting power restored to Sarasota is more important and stuff like that. So you're seeing places like this that, they look like ghost towns, really. There's just priorities, I guess. And normally there was a police checkpoint here. Well, no, we got on Siesta Key recently. That's a concrete block wall. Okay, I'm alone. So imagine on the bottom, storm surge, and now on top, incredible wind force. And the canals and mangroves is nothing but garbage. I think part of the reason it's just a ghost town here is because the people that would normally be working here are out of power, out of water, and out of gas. So there's no fuel, there's no power, there's no water. So the people that were working here on this island are not able to come back to the island to work because you can't get fuel, you can't get anything. So now the workers themselves can't be on the island because they don't have anything. So
but there is a car in front of us.
it's good. What a nightmare. You know how like nowadays there's people that like refuse to like wave or say hello to other people?
Yeah.
They're just like non-playable characters.
Yep.
I wonder if you just went around and just said hi to everybody, like it doesn't matter what they thought about it. Like you're just gonna go around now and just be kind to everyone, right? Like park out these. Oh, there's a bunch of them coming.
Yeah.
Be in the way here. But you're actually like, I've seen people say hello to you and you not even like say hi back. And I don't think it's because you're a jerk. I just think it's because you're like
autistic.
You're not aware of your surroundings like I am.
Yeah.
All the time. You're kind of like you're in your own little world. I don't think you do it to be malignant.
Yeah.
And I do think people that are like that are mostly because they're just malignant piece of crap people that don't want to say hi to anybody, or like they just like if you say hi to them, they won't say hi to you. Yeah.
Like they spend more time looking at their computer screen than they do others. Yeah.
Friendly was to be nosy. So sometimes it's better to have somebody who doesn't talk to you. Kind of like where we live now, right? Like I've become like that in a way, but not because I'm antisocial. I've become that way because, like, where we live, it's all like not rich, but like middle class people.
Yeah.
And middle class people that are renting are not homeowners. So like, there isn't that. If there's something I've liked about renting, it's been that when you rent, you don't have that like homeowner pressure. You know what I mean? Like homeowners can be horrible. Like they want to know everything about you, who moved in, why they moved in, where they're from. Now because now you got all the garbage from the first storm.
Oh no, I ain't going
Imagine going to the beach now.
Yeah.
You got all the garbage from the first storm. They got washed away back into the ocean.
Yep.
The amount of debris, like this is, I don't think like back to back that much garbage.
Yeah, I'm not going in the water anytime soon.
What's it say? Use caution.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're sightseeing. We're not sightseeing. We're sightseeing in the sense that we're driving around, but we're working. This is our work gas. You know, we had to wait in line for hours to get this gas.
Yeah.
You know, so now it's a little bit different.
I waited in line and Jose walked around.
Either way, we were stuck at a gas station.
Screaming at each other.
We were stuck at a gas station for hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have drove to that so fast. But anyways, we were stuck at a gas station for hours. Is that a coconut tree? You know how much force it takes to break a coconut tree?
All right.
My goodness.
But it looks like they cleaned this up.
There are people at the beach.
Always.
And they're not stopping him from going, I'm not interested today.
I'm not interested. There's probably somebody's nightstand out there.
But I guess now, like, since there's a complete fuel shortage, like, nobody's actually sightseeing with their own gas.
Yeah.
We're doing it because it's our job. We had to wait in line to get the gas and all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It looks disgusting. The water looks kind of like brownish.
Looks like.
Oh, it knocked down the little houses. I got to get that on video. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get that on video. That's important. Remember the streets had holes in them over here?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can turn this neighborhood. We got to be really careful. There was holes on the road here. So now the road got washed away here. Like, wow. See, the road, we got to be really careful. This road had already started washing away earlier. Oh my gosh, this was already destroyed. Now it's even more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is overwhelming.
Yeah.
Could you imagine these people that live here? The people that live here for the second time, the same nightmare. La madre. Okay, this is like hard to watch. I see you're on your phone.
Hmm?
This is hard to watch. Yeah, catalog's better because it can be a real nightmare if you don't. You know, one interesting observation that I have to make during this hurricane is most of these people here are the types of people who think that they don't really need migrants or illegals, as they call them now. They don't need, but now what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing the homeowners, and they're shaking people's hands and thanking them for working, and it's not a lot of people. You see, obviously all the general contractors and electric people, all those people are going to be U.S. citizens. But the people that are hauling the garbage directly out of these people's houses, all this stuff here, and leaf blowing and gardening, I've seen people where, like, the cleaning lady, maybe the cleaning lady or the guy that, does whatever for the people, now he's also doing other stuff for the people, helping them clean their properties, and it's just very interesting to see. Usually it goes contractor, migrant, and then homeowner away from them. But now, I don't see that, middleman, that contractor middleman. There's usually a contractor, a builder between the homeowner and the illegal migrant. But, like, I'm seeing here a lot of, like, Guatemalans, like, working directly for the homeowners. Like, almost never in my 20 years in Florida, 20 plus years in Florida, have I ever seen, the Guatemalan directly working for the homeowner. There's always somebody in the middle. But it seems like with this hurricane, there is nobody in the middle. I'm seeing the Guatemalan working for the millionaire that has a house on the beach, or the Guatemalans directly helping the homeowner. And that's kind of interesting. I've never seen that before. But the situation here is this. Now there's mattresses everywhere, scattered. The car looks like it got flooded again. That's a very expensive car. I haven't even seen that. But anyways, I just had to make that observation because I've never in my lifetime seen anything like this. I've never seen where the homeowners directly dealing with the Guatemalans. it just goes to show, I think it's a good barrier to break, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's a good thing. It's a horrible circumstance, but it's a good thing that reminds each and every last one of us that, it's. I like to see that barrier be knocked down. I feel like we're all the same, and there's always been like you would never, like 20 years in Florida, I've never seen a Guatemalan directly dealing with like the homeowners, let's say, and I'm seeing it here. Like I've been seeing it like on a daily basis, and it's good that barrier doesn't exist here, and especially that these people here that live in these rich communities can have a first-hand experience of how hardworking these people are, how trustworthy they are, and how productive they can be for society. Okay, so this is what happens when they turn the water back on. Take a look at the color that this water, the sediment of that water right there. I just had a really weird encounter. But anyways, that's what happens at all these homeless camps. You go to the homeless camps and you see that water near the canals. That's all septic water. It has that little sediment. But anyways, when they turn the water back on, they turn the water back on, but see, these pump stations aren't back on yet because there's no power. So you see these pump stations are off. They turn the water back on, and they have to turn the water back on. There's no way around it. But there's no electricity. So when you turn the water back on, but you don't turn on the electricity, these pumps aren't working, so the septic overflows onto the street. It's a very normal hurricane scenario, but that right there does cause red tide. So when you turn the water back on, but you don't turn on these pump stations, the water overflows into the street, and that is what actually causes red tide, is that right there. Whenever you have a storm surge like you do now, those seashells are alive in the ocean. That sand, it stinks. It's horrendous, it's nasty, and in that sand of the storm surge, sometimes it builds up 2 or 3 feet. It's all dead sea life. So that sand has been built up 2 or 3 feet higher, and in that sand, underneath it, are buried fish, birds, and of course, any type of little shells and shrimps that died. So that sand, at the surface, it doesn't smell bad, but if you were to dig a hole, it would stink horrendously. It's basically a cemetery for sea creatures. So there are people at the beach right now, but what those people don't realize is that if they were to just dig a 6-inch hole underneath their feet, it would smell like death. Because this is a cemetery, a 2 foot deep, 3, even 4 in some places, foot cemetery for all the shells that were alive before they were covered. Birds are in there, anything that's in there. So what these people don't know is that they're literally walking over a cemetery of sea life. And underneath them are shrimp, rotting shells, and all that stuff can make you really sick. If you get a cut, that cut can get infected, and you can end up losing a leg. And I've known people who that's happened to. So if you're coming to the beach and there's been a storm surge and there's been sand buildup like you've had here, just keep in mind that in that sand underneath you, that's a cemetery for all those little shells and animals. Guys, so we're in the north middle half of Siesta Key, and there's a lot of sand on the road. It's almost like a ghost town. Now, I think there's a lot of undercover police here, because I've had a lot of encounters with people that seemed way too police-like. They're acting like they're civilian. They have a really good cover story for what they're doing. They seem kind of normal, but they're not kind of normal. And I just had a few encounters here that are definitely police-like. There's a lot of undercover police on these islands. I think they're going with undercover so that they don't blow their cover. But these are rich people's properties, and even in a situation like this, they still... Wow, is that car in a hole over there?
Yeah.
Sure enough is. We'll go around the block there. Wow. This looks a lot worse now than it did the first time. You can see that building has some of the shutters up, some of them on, some of them off.
Now let's keep going on this road, and we can find out what happened there when we get back.
Katie, we're gonna look at it now. okay? I've had it with you trying to get out. She just wants to go home. You bored? You want to go home? Luis Manuel?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm trying to actually get through the island today.
Well, I'm here to record. I have to stop and record stuff. Don't try to tell me how to do my job, okay? You can stay home if you don't. If you don't mind, you can stay home. You want to go home?
No.
'Cause I can order an Uber for you to come pick you up.
No.
Ubers have barely had any work lately. They'll really appreciate me sending you home. My goodness. So this is like a whole...
They really put that on a building?
Yes, they did, Katie. They did put it on a building. It's Siesta Key. That's how people go here anyways.
Yeah.
This is hard to watch. My goodness. This is just a whole nother level of destruction now than it was before. I mean, it was bad before, but this is just... I can understand why the people just want to quit. And then there's fears that people are going to wait. I've heard that where people are going to wait because they feel like there's going to be so many hurricanes this year that a lot of the more wealthy people are just going to wait.
Wait it out.
And see what happens. So imagine that, man. A lot of the wealthy people are just going to wait it out. There's no point in trying to...
Well, the thing with the hurricane season usually ends, November 1st? And we're...
But that's what the rich people said. They're going to wait. That's what I've heard, that the rich people are going to wait.
A little bit.
What's the point? Look at this. This is like post-Ian type crap.
Yeah.
This is bad. Just a car got swallowed by a hole there.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Swallowed by a sinkhole right there. Sinkhole swallowed it.
Washed away underneath it.
Yeah, the road washed away underneath it. It just swallowed it. You know, where they were controlling and had checkpoints and stuff. Their whole metro area is a disaster zone. Access to fuel is literally impossible. So in this situation here, it's like, everything's a disaster zone.
If you're wondering how we have gas, well, I sat in the car for well over an hour.
Now just imagine that there were areas that we were not able to go to with the first hurricane because they never opened up. Like, we were never able to get on Anna Maria Island after the hurricane. At least the middle half of the island.
Like Bradenton Beach.
Yeah, Bradenton Beach. We were able to get on Anna Maria, but we weren't able to get on Bradenton Beach. We weren't able to get on Coquina Beach. We weren't able to get into a lot of places from the first hurricane. Now you got another hurricane. Okay, we weren't able to get up here for the first one because it was so destroyed that they couldn't let the public in. Now you get hit by another one. Are you seeing the situation that we're in right now, guys, down here? There's places that we weren't even able to document the first time around, and now they're going for the second one. That's why I hear like a lot of the people that have money are saying that they're not going to rebuild, they're just going to wait. And then I let this guy borrow my electric truck, and he hasn't returned it. He was supposed to wash it and charge it. And here he is driving around Siesta Key, pretending like he's pretending like it's his. He might be telling people it's his. At this point, he's had it for weeks. This is why you can't let people borrow your cars. I've told you many times, don't let people borrow stuff. The moment... What, Katie?
It's not yours. It was never yours.
Why you gotta hate on me, Katie?
I always hate on you.
You know I gotta fake it till I make it with this whole YouTube thing. Why you gotta hate on me? Why you gotta play a hate on me, Katie?
Because I love you. And I don't want you to say things that are not right.
If you love me, you let me perpetrate my fraud. So
if you love me, you know that I'm a little
self-righteous.
No.
That's what you are. That's illegal. We can't do that whole thing. How many times have you told me that? How many times have you told me that's illegal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. My uncle is still crying since you said that to him.
What?
Like, my uncle is still crying, Katie.
Which one?
I'm scared. Sorry, the phone got disconnected there for a minute. How are you doing, Katie? You're fine? I'm sure Katie's doing fine. She's just a little shy sometimes. Oh, wow. Katie's doing fine. Don't worry about her.
I'm fine, folks. Don't let Jose tell you any different. I'm fine. I'm also happy today.
Are you really?
Unfortunately, I can't. Once I get happy, even if I see depressed things.
The person tried to paint this wall and then like stopped right here suddenly. We're on the northern end of the island, and there's destruction here in epic scales. Let me just pull out of the way so they can go. Seems like he, wow, I think even if I, wow. Oh, it's a dumpster truck, yeah. Wow, homie's in a rush. It lived up to its name, the Sea Village. It really is overwhelming to do this work, and day after day of your life seeing stuff like this, it actually becomes pretty crappy. Don't think this is I usually enjoy my videos, but these hurricane destruction videos are just something else. You can see here that these apartments here lost the roof completely. Completely gone. Completely gone roofs. You know, I was gonna buy a beach house here for us, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it. So with the first hurricane, now guys, we're almost off Siesta Key. We're on the north end of the island, almost off the key. With the first hurricane, we saw people coming over here and documenting the hurricane. With this one, you're not seeing as much. You know why? There's no power, there's no gasoline, there's no hotels, there's no water. Now, all those people that flocked to do videos for the first Hurricane Helene, they're harder to track now for this hurricane. For this hurricane, there aren't as many small creators or even people in general broadcasting this, because now the whole area, there's no gas, there's no power, there's nothing. It's not as easy to get this content now with this storm. But look at the second storm surge line. Looks like it came about to where the first one was. So I'm gonna go ahead and say they got hit. Look at, there's a boat there. Wow, just a random boat there. And that boat wasn't there with the first hurricane, so I'm going to guess there was a good storm surge here. Regardless, this storm brought in a storm surge as well.